It's time to step up your game.
Let's get ready to rumble!
You're listening to a special presentation of Game On, coming to you from the Calgary and Comic Entertainment Expo. We got interviews, we got cosplay, we got special guests. So get ready, because your presentation of Game On starts now.
Game on! Game on! Game on!
All right, we're in Sunday here. Sunday. And I'm Jeff Johnson, your host for Game On. As you can tell, I sound pretty tired, but I'm joined by two of my partners in crime here. Let's go around the room. Here we go.
I'm Kyle Bourne. Steve.
Yeah, we're all here. We're enjoying the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. Kyle and I have enjoyed two so far. Steve has enjoyed his first day ever at the Calgary Expo, which is pretty exciting, but let's go around the horn here. I mean, we did this last year when we were at the event. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things you've enjoyed. Kyle, what's something that struck you about today's event?
Tits.
That's always a good thing. There was plenty of that to see.
Yeah, I like how with the cosplay, which if you're not familiar is with people dressing up as certain characters from video games and anime and all that kind of stuff. Women just love to show off their boobs and their bodies, and it's just fantastic. I am a big fan of that, so I enjoy that because it's an excuse to look at them and take pictures of them and talk to them and interview them and ask them racy questions. So that was a highlight for me.
Yeah, we got quite a few of those pretty crazy questions. I mean, we came up with like a list of like 10 of them to ask pretty much anybody.
Yeah, I like when asked them about whether or not they got laid in the costumes, and a few of the females were saying not yet, meaning they were very much up for anything. So we were trying to hook some people up as well.
Yeah, you were on a fetch quest.
It felt like I was a video game character. I'm like, whoa, I'm helping people. This is weird. Getting warm, tingly feelings inside. So almost set up a Master Chief with a Spartan, and that would have been nice, but it turned out that the guy was already in the friend zone, so I felt a little bad for him. So if we find some more Master Chiefs, then there's a chick who is definitely all about teabagging, so that could be pretty interesting. I'd like to see where that goes, or, you know, at least make it happen and then use my imagination as to how the rest plays out.
Now, if you're all curious about what you're hearing here, you're going to get to see this on the site. We'll be putting this up on our YouTube channel.
We're putting teabagging up on our YouTube?
No, we're not putting teabagging up. We're putting these crazy interviews.
Oh, rats.
In due time. We'll see what happens. But, you know what?
No, the interviews are good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I wish there was more teabagging.
Oh, man. So, Kyle, we got your impression on cosplay there. Steve, you got to see a lot of the cosplay that was around there, too. What's your thoughts?
Some very good effort by some very attractive women. They did an amazing job. And while I also share Kyle's love for tits, I'm still going to have to just shout out to this. Most of us are mature enough to how to handle this properly, but there are some people out there who don't, and to them I'm just going to say, yes, they're beautiful, yes, they look amazing, but don't be ridiculous. They're still human beings. Treat them with respect. Yeah, you can compliment them, do all that stuff, but come on, guys, use common sense.
What, do you see anybody doing that?
No, I didn't see them, but I have heard horror stories. So this isn't rocket science, it's just common sense.
Well, I guess that's true, too. I mean, really, where we were asking crazy, zany questions and having all that fun, it's all in good fun.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, there's no... I hadn't heard anything about anybody doing stupid things to any of them, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, we're not being cruel or being disgusting or whatever about this. It's all in good fun. It is. And we're not trying to slight anybody. It's just the way it is. It's like, if it doesn't sound...
You're repeating yourself. What's your impression?
What
The
impression?
Expo. You're the first guy. You're busting your cherry.
My impression?
Yes.
I'd gladly do it again. Except there's just one little thing I would do differently. I would not bring as much money.
Oh, yes. Let's talk a little bit about that, because really spending is one of these big things that happens at the expo. I know I'm down about $50 for sure. Kyle, have you spent much at this?
I didn't spend anything today.
So you see, this is the kind of restraint we need right here.
It's all my Mennonite knowledge of not spending anything and getting some free pizza from one of the other attendees.
Yeah, you jerk. We bought lunch before you got free food. What the hell?
Yeah, well, you know, when you're a nice guy, people just give you things, so you don't, you thank them and you eat it.
Steve's on a different boat, though.
Yeah, I spent way more than I probably should have. But it was, in my defense, it wasn't stupidly either. It was actually pretty good. I could spend $40 on an autograph, which was totally worth it, in my opinion.
Better than some of the prices.
Yeah, that was true. Like this, one autograph. You gotta treat yourself to that. I spent $20 on to get my picture taken in the DeLorean, like, worth enough right there. It's the DeLorean, for God's sakes. And it was going to support a worthwhile charity, Michael J. Fox's charity towards Parkinson's disease. Totally worth it in that regard.
I'd say so.
Yeah, plus it's a tax write-off, but regardless of that, anyway, it's still worth it, even if it wasn't. And then comes my other spending.
Comic books.
Yes, comic books. What can I say?
Nerd.
Yeah.
We're at an expo.
I know. I just had to throw it in. I think there was the one point where Jeff, when we got there on Friday, where I turned to you and I'm like, we're surrounded by nerds.
I'm like, dude, we run Game On, a podcast on video games. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
But I have a defense for my thing. Yes, I spent more than $75 on comic books, but I have a defense.
What would that be?
It was Batman.
I'm Batman.
It was Batman. It was the ones I needed for my collection, and a couple other ones were just completely not unable to turn away from. I got Identity Crisis. I got Sword of Azrael. I got Virtue and Vice, which is JLA, but still close enough for the point of that.
Okay.
And I got a lot of the ones that I needed to complete my collection for Nightfall, one of the best arcs of the Batman mythos. I most definitely will not be buying anything else tomorrow for one very simple reason.
You're broke?
Yes, I'm broke. I spent all my money. It's gone.
Okay. Okay, we'll definitely come back to that at some point. I'll give my thoughts now. Honestly, last year was an awesome time. It's hard to live up to it. This year had some pretty awesome moments, though. Like last year, we didn't get a chance to talk to Mark Meer. This year, we got to talk to Mark Meer, not once, but twice. First time, serious style of interview, talking about a new project that he's got in the works, called Legend Has It. It's this improv project. It's pretty sweet. Second time, those crazy interview questions that we were talking about. Since he has his background in improv, we decided, let's give him a go with this. And it was hilarious.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say too much about it, but like you say, he's an improv genius. And so, I mean, he runs along with it, and we set him up and he knocked him down, and it was great.
Yeah, so stuff like that. And speaking of improv, the final event that we all got to experience from the night of that was seeing all of the voice actors taking on different scripts in their own characters. Invader Zim ran away with the show there. It was hilarious.
He seemed to be in on every one, and I still don't know what the show is.
I don't know what this show is either.
But he's got a zany character. It's a very unique voice, so I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely something worth a check out. Steve, your thoughts on the voice actor medley?
I preferred the Veronica Taylor's thing and some of Phil Lamar's stuff myself. Plus, the guy who played Animal, hilarious.
Yes, it was very cool. If you've never gone to one of these sort of, it's like a mash-off. That's the best way I can put it. You gotta check it out if you ever go to one of these expos. And the exhibitors area, like we mentioned, I know that they were trying to sell like about 1,000 booth space. I don't know how many people bought multiple booths in there, but it looks awesome. I know there's some familiar names that we've had on Game On in the past that are there, like Thwomp. I bought one of their t-shirts today. The guys from Clutch, this web series, they're in there as well. Loading Ready Run, they're also there. I'm kind of choking up about it, apparently.
Getting emotional.
I'm so touched by all of the guests we've had on the show. But I'm glad to have you guys along for the ride, and I think this is a good time to sort of wrap it up and enjoy.
I think you're forgetting something very important.
Okay, what am I forgetting?
Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
Well, yeah, that's the tits that I was alluding to earlier, because, I mean, this woman has figures like she doesn't look like a real person. When I saw her the first time, I had to do a double take, because this is something you'd imagine, what do they call it, like at a wax museum or something, where they just create something, like
a work of art?
Yeah. It really is a work of art. That's a good way of putting it. Because the proportions don't make sense. She's like
Rabbit.
So skinny, but yet the hips are there, the legs, and the boobs just like, and her hair, and she's got all the moves too. Like, ay, this woman is ridiculous.
But her eyes weren't the right color.
Oh, jeez.
At least I don't.
Ever the perfectionist.
I'm pretty sure they weren't the right color. I think her eyes were closer to blue than Jessica Rabbit's natural green.
I don't think we were paying attention to those.
Maybe I
No,
wasn't too.
she's got it going on.
But her hair was perfect.
I thought pretty much everything was, but
Oh yeah, everything was.
what woman would you find attractive? What's the right woman for you then, Steve? If this Jessica woman with the like unnatural body that she has, what is the right woman then?
Power Girl.
Okay. Power Girl, comic book character again. Another.
Like a real human being.
Stay tuned.
I'm talking about a real person. This is a person that we saw.
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, exactly. I guess another thing that we didn't touch on there, though, was geek speed dating, which you got to experience.
Yes, I did. I tried geek speed dating. It was similar to regular speed dating in the sense that you get a couple of minutes to speak to somebody and get a basic first impressions, and then ding, you move on to the next person, and so on. But it's a little bit different. With regular speed dating, you get a little more than 5 minutes at a table by yourself. But here, it was a little bit different because you had to squeeze a lot of different stuff into a 2-hour time frame. You had 35 men and 35 women. Instead of getting a table to deal with this, you're all crammed in there in like a row, like an auditorium seating almost, facing each other. It's a loud event. Everybody is talking at the same time, trying to get this all across, and everybody's talking louder to get their point across. My ears were ringing halfway through the thing, and my throat was dry a quarter of the way through the thing. And we also had to stop early just because time ran out, so you didn't even get to meet all the people. It was the second time doing this, so yeah, it takes time to get it down to a fact. Plus, you had a lot of people to get in. It was difficult, but I think it was more or less the results that speak for anything else.
Yeah, how did that go?
They found nobody for me.
Oh.
I'm so lonely.
Okay, before this becomes the consoling Steve hour, I think there's a good chance. Okay, calm down. What do you say? We're gonna call it a night. Everybody get some rest. Really? Oh, suck it up. Okay, glad. Okay. So anyway,
I'm over it.
we're wrapping it up. Everybody sleep tight.
It's all about the game and how you play it. All about control if you can take it.
Do you think that we could play another game? Maybe I could win this time. Time to play the game.
You're listening to Game On with Jeff Johnson on GameNTrain.com.